So a video of Marvin Sapp is going viral again. This is no new. This video has been around. It went viral for the first time. And now for some reason, you know how the internet works. It started going viral again. So it's a video of him. I'm going to play in a few in the church asking his church members 40,000. Bro, man, 40,000 is a lot of money, man. If you have a job, you make 40K a day, bro, you're doing super good. I mean, besides the government, I look at pastors as scammers too, though. Don't get me wrong. They are like legal scammers. Yo, I get a lot of stories, man. I was raised in the church back home. As you know, in case you don't know, I was born and raised in Africa. So I've seen those scams a lot because I was in the choir myself. So I know how them pastors been moving. At first, when I moved there, I thought, pastor in America, they were a little different. Yeah, they're kind of different. But when it comes to the money part, though, they're all scammers. They do the same shit, though. But before anything, let me go ahead, play the video, right? All right, okay.
Tell you what to tell them. Just look at somebody and say this. Say, neighbor, you're strong to tell them.
Why they put their voices like that, though?
Talk to them. Tell them you're better.
Okay. Let me move forward.
I want everybody to remain standing quickly.
Okay, I think it's the part.
I have to do something. I'm well over time, but I have to do something quickly.
Quickly.
Simple question. How many of you all received something from the word of the Lord tonight? Put your hands down. I'm going to try one more time.
Jesus.
Because I've learned that every word ain't for everybody.
This how you can tell these people getting paid. Look at his watch. That's a Rollie. I noticed that. That's a Rollie. Then no less than 20,000. But let me continue, man.
This word may not have been for you, and I'm good with that. I understand. But how many of y'all really received something from the word of the Lord tonight? Listen, when you study scripture, you will notice that whenever God did something in the lives of the patriarchs of old, the patriarchs would pause, they would set up an altar, and they would offer a sacrifice.
Okay, I can already tell that he's brainwashing them slowly for them to give the money by the example just gave, right? If you did, the patriarch did something to whatever, they'll sacrifice, they'll do a sacrifice. So it's getting them ready to spend some money. That's why I always call them, those are legal scammers because they do it legally. But let me continue, right?
That's literally how we get the covenant names of God: Jehovah Jireh, Nisi, Tiskanu, Elion, Mekadesh. We get these names, nephew.
Where did you get those names from?
The fact that whenever God did something in word or in deed, the patriarchs of old would pause. They would set up an altar. They would offer a sacrifice.
They offer sacrifice.
I asked each and every one of you, how many of y'all received something from the word of the Lord? Everyone in this place said these words: I did. Because of your acknowledgement
Jesus
of what God did in word, there is an obligation that is attached to that acknowledgement.
That's some bullshit. There's no obligation if God did miracles to you. The only thing you gotta do, you gotta thank God, you gotta be good to God, you gotta be faithful. That's all God need. God doesn't need our money though. And the funny thing, they always like, even when I was back home, right, they'll tell you like, oh, we have to give to God. I'm like, nigga, do you know God's bank account? Where do you put the money? Like, I would like to know though. Do God really take the money, buy some Jordans? Because if anything, the earth belongs to God. What does he need the money for? He's God. He can make miracles. Like God can stay like this, be like, I need 10 billions. So why do we need to give money to God? Just say, give money to me, because that money doesn't go to God. That's a freaking lie they always been telling us though. But let me continue, man.
In biblical days, they offered livestock, grain. That was a type of currency.
You see? It's getting there slowly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against Christianity. I'm Christian myself. I believe in God. I pray. I have a, direct relationship with God. I don't need them bozos to put me in a relationship with God. I don't need none of them because they probably do worse things than me behind closed doors. I know stories about pastors, but don't get me started, man. But let me continue with this.
Notice you will, I did not say money. I said currency. There's a reason why I use the word currency. Because currency has a root word. The root
Bruh, currency, money, but let's continue, right?
word is current. Current has two definitions. Current means a flow. Current in an ocean. Current in a lake. Current in a river.
Man, get to the freaking point.
But it also means now. Current events. Current events. Stuff that's happening now. This is what I feel led of God to do now. And this is what God is saying for at least 1,000 of you in the building.
So you can tell this was planned for him to have laid down the way he did. This was planned. He did it so perfectly, amazing, man. I gotta give it to him, though, for real. Shit, he did his thing, man. Woo. It's so easy for women to be convinced that, oh, I gotta give.
And this is simple. I'm not going to challenge you the way Bishop did. But I know that there's 1,000 individuals under the sound of my voice that can do what I'm about to challenge you all to do. This is simple. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge will be $20,000. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge you all to do will be $20,000. Now, for those of us who are on the dais, I'm taking you higher, so put it back. I'm a strong believer that leaders lead not only in time, not only in talent, but also in treasure. Leaders lead in time, talent, and treasure. I was taught a long time ago that it costs to sit up here. Y'all don't like me. I'm telling y'all it costs. I went upstairs today to get my license and ordination renewed. I don't mind telling you, I was 2 years behind. I had to pay $2,000 to get my ordination and my licensing renewed. I pulled out my credit card. I paid my $2,000. How in the world I'm going to preach up here and not lead by example? He asked me to give $800 when in my pocket, gave $800. Because leadership lead and they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you, I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
Yeah, this the part, man.
We all gonna lead together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife, Melinda P. Sapp, was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get 1 soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap, that's swag. I was looking in her eyes, she's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. I got you. So put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm going to have y'all come to the altar and get it because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the button.
Yeah, let me say this, man. This pastor must be good in math, though. He already did the math. $20, 100,000 people, and all the 1,000 people watching on television, so it's gonna be like 40K. Bro, how much money do you, like, who do you own money for you to be asking, like, that amount of 40,000? No 20, no 10,000, but 40,000. Yo, it's like you got some deal with some drug dealers that you guys did something. You got to pay them back tonight and you need the money. And you talking about like, oh, you have to renew, you have to renew a license. It was 2,000. Like he did all them speech just to make them feel like, okay, yeah, we're supposed to spend money because the pastor has been spending money. If the God gives, we have to offer something. Bro, that's some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit, man. And you're gonna hold them hostage because of $20? How about if I don't have $20? Why church has to be so much like they focus so much on money like that? It's like, I get it. Church is a business, even though some people don't want to look at it as a business or don't want to think it's a business, but it's a business. No difference than Facebook or was a Google, Tesla, same shit though. Same thing. But a church is supposed to be a house of God where people come, solve their problems. I mean, talk to God, pray, have fun, have relationships with God, get closer to God, learn, But nowadays, like, they're so focused on money, though. All they want is money. $20. I know it might be, it's nothing, but 40,000 a day, that's a lot of money. And the funny thing is like, I know a story back home, right? That's what usually happens. A church member would come to a pastor, be like, yo, pastor, I'm not feeling good. I need help. You know what the pastor would do? Pray. The pastor will pray for you. But if the pastor has something, or the pastor's son, something's happened to them, or the pastor's wife, something's happened to them, you know what the pastor gonna do? Collects money from church members. Oh, we need to send my wife to France or to Belgium, to South Africa, so she can get a proper treatment. That's what happens. The pastor doesn't pray. They will not pray. They will not. Yeah, they might ask the church members, oh, let's pray for, my wife, but at the end of the day, they're going to seek that proper treatment for her to feel better. But when it comes to the church members, they should do the same, because initially, I'm not biblical. I'm not gonna get too biblical. But initially, a church was a group of people, right? Back in the days, it was no like leader or no pastor, whatever was the leader, but it was like a group of people, right? They come, for example, they'll come on Monday. They'll be like, okay, hey Mark, you gonna teach on Monday. Hey Joseph, you gonna teach on Tuesday. Hey Phillips, you gonna teach on Wednesday. All right, it was like no leader, but we just have roles every day, and we put money together in case something happened to one of our friends. We take that money, help them, and vice versa. But nowadays, like, you have one leader, and if something happened to the church members, quiet. Something happened to the leader, everybody has to pitch money. Everybody have to put money to save the leader. That's just some bullshit. For 40,000, close the door. I'm not obligated, but remember what he said before, it's an obligation. You're not obligated. If God did something to you, the only obligation is to thank God. That's all God is asking. God is not asking for money. I feel like I'm preaching, but I'm not preaching, but God doesn't want money. Like I said, though, how do we give God money, though? How? Just do good. Just be a good person. That's the only thing you need to do, though. God doesn't need money because God didn't even create money. God doesn't know even money exists. I mean, he knows because he controls everything, but God initially did not create money. So that's human invention. So for them to be like, oh, you have the obligation, but why that obligation has to be money, though? Can it be something else? Because churches back home, I'm speaking of back home because I can relate to what he's saying right now because I seen it. I was in the choir. I was deep in the church back home. So church back home, when they will ask for offers, right? In return, or if, for example, oh yeah, you got this something to you, whatever, you got to give God back, right? Usually, in the Bible says, you give what you have. Let's say, if I have a farm, I have a farm like maybe cow, goat, whatever might be the case, I'll bring one goat. But back home, they don't want that. They want money. They want money. So some people don't even have money like that. But they ask them, oh, you need, and they give you the amount. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to be willing to give whatever you have, whatever you feel comfortable giving. They're not supposed to tell you how much to give them. For him to say that, although $20 is not that much, but you gonna tell me how much I have to give? Did God tell you that? This some bullshit, man. It's like, okay, what you guys gonna do with that 40,000? And another funny thing I noticed about church is like, they'll have the church, if they bought the church, right? The church is bought. The church, or the lease, or the deed's name is gonna be under the pastors, or they put the pastor's wife or kids. If it's our church, why not put it under like an LLC or name, and every members, like whoever contributed it, can have a portion if in the future you guys decided to sell the church. But usually that's not happen though. It does not happen that way. So that's what, to me, I call them like legal smooth scammers though. Same as the government. It's like, yo, we're already getting scammed enough by the government, and you guys want to be on top of us again. Like, bro, pause, man. I'm not talking about top of, like, yeah. But besides the government, the government already doing the scamming, and you guys want to do another scamming on top of what the government is doing already? That's very diabolical, though. And money has nothing to do with God. Why you always, like, what they say, money is like the root of evil? Is that they say, whatever, right? Whatever they say. So y'all want money that bad? Look at the pastor, man. Rolly, he probably is driving a foreign car, a very good looking car. If you look at his house, must be very nice. But I'm like, being a pastor should not be a job. You should have your 9 to 5, and being a pastor should be something you're passionate about. You should not be a pastor 24/7. No, you should have 1 day a week or maybe 2 days a week as a pastor. I mean, you can be a pastor, every day, but you should not focus on being in church every single day because you need a job. I do not respect pastors who don't have jobs. I don't respect them because I'm like, okay, you don't have a job. How do you get your bills paid? How do you get your bills paid? Like, how? So you getting your bills paid using a money? Like, what's a percentage? So is that your job? No, you're supposed to have your 9 to 5 and be a pastor as a passion. You know what I'm saying? It's like nowadays, just like, bro, that's some bullshit, man. So let me continue what he said, man. This is some bullshit. He's putting the money, he's giving the money, but the money is going to them anyways. I think it's a conglomerate or a group of them. The money is going back to you guys. So why do you have to put the money? Because it's going back to you. You're probably gonna get like 10 times than what you put in. Don't just put anything. Just don't put anything. I mean, sheesh. He doesn't have a wallet.
Giving is worship.
How much is giving? Like 300?
Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't the time to talk.
Bro, man.
1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints.
Easy? I mean, $20 is not that bad, but for you to say that's easy, bro, come on, man. This is just sad. That's why I'm very skeptical of churches nowadays, though. They tarnish the image of churches, like them pastors, man. I don't know what happened in the white community, but in the black community, it's super bad. I thought I was only in Africa or African countries, but I started noticing that black people are almost the same everywhere you go. I believe in the Latin American countries probably be the same thing as well. I would say Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Haiti. It might be the same thing though. This is just way too much, man. $20. Like, don't tell me what to give to God. How about if I don't have money though? How about if I don't have money? And what about one day if I need my money? Do you think the church gonna help them or one of them church members? Bro, this was just too much, man. This was too toxic to me, man. I'm like, these people are scammers, man. They be having like, sometimes they ask like, yo, I know stories like pastor collect money to buy his side chick maybe a new car. Dead ass, man. The pastor would take money from church members to get his side chick like a new car or maybe new clothes, or maybe the side chick needed was a traveling ticket to travel to a different country or to go on a vacation. They've been doing some dumb shit like that. That's why like I don't give money to anybody like that though, especially them churches though. If you're a pastor, you don't have a job, I'm not going to your church. I'm sorry. I gotta ask you, what do you do for a living? Don't tell me I'm a pastor full time. No, you should not. You should not be a pastor full time though. It's not a job. It should not be your job to be a pastor. Nah, bruh. This is crazy. And this pastor, they be sleeping, clapping chicks in the church. They be doing some crazy shit in the church. They have like 4 or 5 girls in the same church, plus the wife. Bro, they just like savage. Most of them are very savage, man. But this one, if you ask me, that was just way too much, man. Look at the pastor. Look at the gold chain here, bro. It's just like this guy looks like it's a scammer, though. To me, it might not be the only one. There's a lot of them like that. There's a lot of them. So he responded, all right. I think this is what he said. So in a statement on his Facebook page on Wednesday, Sapp provided additional context behind his request for money. He said that as a minister, fundraising was part of his job at the international convention, calling it still worship rather than manipulation. That's manipulation, though. Because the way he was asking about it, right, the beginning of it, everything he said about it, manipulation to me. You brainwashing the people. And most of the time, women are more easy to manipulate when it comes to churches, though. Men nowadays are kind of like, nah, I'm not going to church. But women are always, oh my God, our pastor, oh, give it to God. Oh, he's so nice, so nice. But before you know it, he's clapping chicks left and right. Jesus. Some have taken issue with a particular moment when I instructed the ushers rather firmly to close the doors. So why do you have to close the door? How about if I don't have money? What you gonna do though? During the offering, Sapp wrote, to those unfamiliar with the church context or why may not regularly attend worship gatherings, this has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage. That's what it is. What the freak? As well as offense as well as offensive. Okay, I can't read it today. That's what was never my intent. He continued to say that finances are being received in any worship gathering, and that it's one of the most vulnerable and exposed times for both the finance and security teams. Moments during his sacred exchange can be distracting at a time and risky. He said, my directive was not about control. It was about creating a safe, focus, and man, that's some bullshit, man. This is some Usher Amar inside church. Okay, let me see. Let me watch this video.
There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors.
Oh!
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors.
This must be meme.
Close the doors.
Have a seat. Pastor said no leaving.
We all gonna leave the
Go.
This is it. This is just a meme, though. I thought that was the real thing. My bad. This is a meme.
You ain't got 20?
That's for my child support. That's for my child support.
Hey, Pastor, we got 200 back here.
I owe child support. You tell my credit card.
Yeah.
Yo, I believe they want to take food stamps, everything, dog.
Yeah.
This is funny, though.
Yeah.
If I get
God bless you.
Can I go now?
that's $40,000.
It's going to cost you 200 to come back in.
Challenging each of you all down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people didn't receive that well, dog. It's like when people are too much into money like that, it's very unattractive, dog. Especially pastors, dog. Yo, bro looks like he's there. You know, he's out there like clapping chicks too. I ain't gonna lie, man. But yeah, that's what I have to say about this, man. Other than that, I catch you next time. Peace out, family. I'm out.